and becoming. Really does lead to the domain of experience. One must remember at the same
I am not going to sit this one out.
adequately. And the whole art of poetry is to say what can't be said. Every artist feels when he gets to the end of his work that there's something absolutely essential.
I'll protect you.
So Zen has always described itself as a finger pointing at the moon. With its Sanskrit saying, that art thou, Zen is concerned with that. That, of course,
We will meet again.
from the absolute reality in Hindu philosophy. And you're it, only in disguise, and disguised so well that you've forgotten it. Unfortunately, ideas like the ultimate ground of being, the self, reality, the great void, all that is very, very abstract. Zen is concerned in a much more direct way coming to an understanding of that, or thatness, as it's called, tathata in Sanskrit. I think, first of all, the appeal of Zen lies in its unusual quality of humor. Religions aren't, as a rule, humorous in any way. Religions are serious. And when one looks at Zen art and reads Zen stories, it is quite apparent that something is going on here. This is serious in the ordinary sense, however sincere it may be. The next thing I think that has appealed to Westerners is that it has no doctrines. There is nothing you have to believe, and it doesn't moralize at you very much. It's not particularly concerned with morals at all. It's a field of inquiry rather like physics. And you don't expect a physicist to discuss authoritatively about morals, even though as a human being he has moral interests and problems. But as a physicist, he is not moral authority. Or if you go to an oculist, ophthalmologist, and have your eyes adjusted, that is so you can see clearly. And Zen is spiritual ophthalmology.
I know my responsibility. I've got it.
got that description. He said, well, doesn't everybody do that? And the master said they don't. When hungry, they don't just eat. But think of 10,000 dream innumerable things. The fascination of Zen to the West is that it promises a sudden insight into something that is always supposed to take years and years and years. The psychoanalysts, if you're mixed up, they tell you the troubles you've got yourself into over all these years can't be undone in a day. And therefore it will take many, many sessions, maybe twice a week for several years for you to get straightened out. The Christians say that if you embark on a path of spiritual discipline, you get yourself a spiritual director and submit yourself to the will of God, but you may not get into the high states of contemplative prayer for very many years. The Hindus, the Vedanta Society people, the Buddhists also say there are many long years of meditation, very hard concentration, very difficult practice, and stern discipline. Then maybe you will make enough progress in this life to become a monk.
Right on schedule.
Some of the preliminary stages leading to Buddhahood, but it's all likely to take you many, many incarnations. But when
I've got you.
How does one receive? It may take you 3 seconds. It may take you 30 years. I mean that. This book called the Mumonkan, which means the gateless gate, contains such stories as, I say student rather than monk, because Zen students are not monks in our sense of the word monk. Our monks take life vows of poverty, chastity, and obedience. And to make the grade, you're expected to spend your whole life in the monastic state. But I call the Zen monk a student because he's more like a student in a theological seminary. He may stay much longer than the usual 3 years. He may stay 30 years or so. But it's always possible for him to leave with dignity and to graduate and to go into lay life or become a regular priest who keeps charge of a temple, can get married and have a family. Only very few graduates of the Zen monastery become Roshi. That Roshi means simply old teacher. That is the man in charge of the spiritual development of the students. So one of these students in the book says to the master Joshu, I have been here in this monastery for some time and I've had no instructions from him. The master said, have you had breakfast? Go wash yourself. And the monk was awakened.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Another story in this book concerns a master who said, when a cow walks out of the enclosure, the corral, the horns and head, the four legs and the body all get through, but not the tail. The tail can't get through, and nobody can answer. Another story tells of a certain master called Azharaso, who was so good that he had hundreds of students, and they couldn't all be housed in one monastery. He had to find one of the students who could also be a master. So he arranged a test. He put down a pitcher in front of them all and said, without making a question or without making a denial, tell me, what is this? And the senior monk said it couldn't be called a piece of wood. The teacher didn't accept this answer. But the monastery cook came forward and kicked the pitcher over and walked away. And he got the job.